I was not expecting to get an arch rival today, but here we are.
Come on, man!
Yo, here we are. We're back again. Thanksgiving
Yes, we
is
are.
over.
Well, for you it is. For me, it's not.
Oh, what do you got? Thanksgiving tomorrow, too?
Yeah, we have Thanksgiving tomorrow for Pipe Bomb, where today I spent the day outside in 20-degree weather smoking a turkey.
Nice. Nice.
And then if any of the viewers are watching and are currently interested about the whole experience, I did do 3 videos in steps of doing the smoking of the turkey. And I got to tell you, came out fucking phenomenal. I ripped a leg off and I was picking on it, so couldn't help myself. But I do hope everybody else did have a great Thanksgiving on top of it.
Oh, yeah. It was great. Fantastic. Drank a bottle of wine, a couple Moscow Mules. Pretty good. Pretty good day. Ate a lot of food.
Well, that and the, what else did you do? I know you went shopping for something.
Oh, yeah. So, my wife, it's Thanksgiving, so she wants to put up the Christmas tree. Well, there's a row of Christmas lights burnt out on the fucking tree. So, what does she do? Asks us to go to Walmart at 7 o'clock.
Oh, Jesus.
For wrapping paper and a string of Christmas lights.
Well, that's actually pretty funny.
Yeah. Like, all these people, like, there's cops all over the place, like, monitoring shit. Like, I was just like, this is stupid. We're idiots.
Sean Matry made his first turkey.
Oh,
congratulations, Sean. Hope it came out great.
Yeah.
Because, the first turkey experience is always the best.
Yeah.
That's where people legitimately will nitpick on you and be like, hey, your turkey's a little weirded out. I've seen a turkey come out with a mohawk, and I was wondering why. And then they apparently didn't take all of the feathers out, and they just shaved the feathers into a mohawk.
Nice.
Yeah. Completely insane, but,
Yeah, completely insane, but, whatever.
So there was news today and some of it from what I read was not good news.
Oh yeah.
The owner of the Houston, Texas, Bob McNair, passed away earlier this afternoon.
Oh no.
Born 1937, obviously passed away on November 23rd of 2018. So we do kind of extend some wishes out to the Texans. I know they're not playing until Monday night. They'll have a day to soak in the whole loss and then hopefully get back on the ball to play the Tennessee Titans on Monday night.
That's a shame.
It is. It's kind of funny because, the Texans are on such a roll, and if it so happened to be that this year they won their first Super Bowl, then, he will have succeeded in building a successful franchise.
Well, I kind of hope they do win it now.
Yeah, you win it for him, like many teams have done it in the past.
Yeah.
However, a lot of people will yell at me for quoting this, but yesterday's Thanksgiving was not only the 55-year anniversary of JFK being assassinated,
mm-hmm.
but it was also the anniversary of the infamous butt fumble at Giant Stadium
Saw that.
against the Pats.
So what was the butt fumble?
Okay, so the butt fumble in itself was a blown-up play where it was supposed to be a handoff to the running back, and it just so happens Mark Sanchez was the quarterback.
Oh.
Decided to scramble and ran legitimately into his lineman's ass, fumbled the ball. Ty Law recovered the fumble and ran it back for a touchdown.
The infamous butt fumble.
Which I might add is that I recently attained a 75th anniversary Drew Bledsoe, Mitchell and Ness jersey. I don't know if anybody really can see it, but
That's cool.
I decided to wear it for the show tonight because, we obviously weren't doing a show yesterday, and I could not celebrate the infamous butt fumble. So I figured I would kind of throw people off by wearing it tonight and just go with it.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so
right.
in other news, we have some injury updates. We have Brady not only with a possible knee tweak, but he's sick and missed practice today.
Oh, no.
Melvin Gordon is now questionable to play against the Cardinals on Sunday. Gronk, ankle and back, good to go for the Jets. And there's also a very big possibility that A.J. Green may not be playing this weekend against the Cleveland Browns, which would be, I believe, his third week off in a row.
Really? Well.
So there's a lot of, manipulations into the system. And I will tell you that for the first time in the longest time that the 5 people who picked games this weekend so far, are now undefeated throughout the first 3 games of the week.
Oh, because we all picked the same team.
It was unanimous across the board. Bears and
Cowboys,
the Cowboys and the Saints. And the Saints actually covered, which I thought was pretty funny. The Cowboys covered as well. And the Bears did too. So I think we should just roll into these scores.
Let's roll into the scores.
So everybody will really understand what we're talking about. Now, just to remind everybody that the Chiefs and Rams, after that slugfest, that thriller in L.A., had the week off. And I was kind of thinking more of the fact that went along the lines of that they were supposedly playing in Mexico City, but now they played in L.A., so it really didn't make a difference.
Yeah.
But those 2 teams did have the week off. And we're going to start off with the 12:30 Turkey Day game. Chicago Bears versus the Detroit Lions. Final 23-16 Bears. Bears were spotting the Lions 3. The under-over was 45. That didn't make it because it only made it 39 points.
Mm-hmm. That was a close game, though.
It was a close game. However, the whole spin on it was, and again, you find out this news before the game starts, that Trubisky ended up not playing this game, and that career backup for 4 different teams, Chase Daniels, started this game on Sunday. He looked a little shaky in the beginning, but as the game went on, he handled it perfectly.
Yeah. Oh, I know Derek was flipping out. He's like, hey, Chase Daniels sucks. Like, yeah. And he's like, oh, we're the best. Like, you just talking shit on this guy like 2 minutes ago, dude. What the hell's going on? Well, he's doing better now.
Well, it was funny because this was also not only, I believe, his second career start in the NFL, but he threw his first ever touchdown pass in this game and caught his first ever pass in this game at the same time. So there was a bunch of firsts for Chase Daniels in this game. I got to tell you, though, this was the astonishing part of this game. The Bears did not run the ball effectively at all.
No. Top rusher, Cohen.
Cohen. Yeah.
14 yards, man. They did great.
And then again, the passing game, I mean, okay, Daniels only really threw for 230, but Tyler Gabriel had 49 yards receiving. The other hand, now again, I'm getting ready to sit down and eat dinner at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon because, Mitro's dinner was coming after that, and you have to save space. Matt Stafford looked fucking miserable.
Yeah.
It's like somebody just like plucked one of the hairs out of his nuts because he looked fucking miserable. And although Detroit had a decent running game in this game, now mind you, Kerryon Johnson is injured, and LeGarrette Blount took most of the carries in this game, but Stafford looked off big time in this game. And to be honest with you, the Bears defense really did sustain most of this game. Fourth quarter, there was a pick returned for a touchdown, and then there was another pick in the end zone after that because the dumbass tight end stopped running.
Yeah.
For the Lions. So all in all, the defense in this game really, both of them, I have to say, were astonishing. Probably one
both
of the
defenses played well.
One of the better defensive games in the on the schedule for the day, but overall, I mean, phenomenal leadoff game to the whole thing, which is what I was kind of looking for in football on Turkey Day.
Yep. All right, so next we had the Cowboys versus the Redskins. Now, all these games were pretty close, of course, except for the next one. But yeah, Cowboys versus Redskins, man. I mean, it was a pretty solid game. I thought Colt McCoy did fairly well.
Yeah, but the other issue is that the interceptions killed him.
Yeah, definitely.
They were on at one point a game tying drive. He throws a freaking interception and the fucking guy runs it back 30 fucking yards. I mean, turnovers are always a huge part of the game. And I mean, McCoy did throw for 268 and 2 scores, but he also had interceptions on top of it.
Yeah.
And that was fairly rough with them. Peterson only rushed for 35 yards. There was a penalty that really should have been called in the fourth quarter on the Redskins' last drive. The helmet-to-helmet with Jordan Reed. Legitimately, you see the two face masks smash into each other, and nothing was called. But there was a friggin' pity-pat foul earlier in the game, and they called that. So, almost it was kind of like they were saying, you know what, fuck the Redskins, we don't care, we want the Cowboys to tie up this division shit.
Yeah. I'm real glad that the Raiders traded off Amari Cooper so he could receive for 180 yards and score 2 touchdowns. I know we didn't need that guy at all, so we had to get rid of him.
Well, it's funny because I was actually watching that morning sports show with Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless earlier today while smoking the turkey.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying that the coaching level is different from apparently Gruden to Jason Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost I'll put it in my part of the words, is that Jason Garrett would rather fondle your balls than chew on them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much what John Gruden does. I don't know, but that's the way of me saying it, trying instead of copywriting whatever Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp were saying. But I guess the culture is different in Dallas, and Cooper's a laid-back guy who's not very confrontational, and that may be the huge difference.
Yeah.
It's very possible. But obviously, Cooper's numbers are better in Dallas right now than they were in Oakland.
So, at the beginning of the season, yeah.
You pretty much can say that. They did have a little bit of an issue in the game, the Cowboys, and I'm surprised that they didn't learn from it last year. Now, Zeke Elliott jumped into the Salvation Army bucket or
pot
or whatever. So this year he took $21 from an NFL camera guy and made a donation. And then when Prescott scored his rushing touchdown, Elliott put him in the Salvation Army thing. So from my understanding is that they're both getting fined for it because they were using the bowl as a prop.
I mean, why are we being that big of bitches about this stuff? I mean, come on now.
You know what?
I
They
thought
got
it was funny.
It is funny, but they did get a little laxed with the celebrations because now you're allowing more players on the field than your starting defense or starting offense to participate in the celebration.
Yeah.
Which technically would be too many men on the field, even if the balls are not in play. But also at the same rate, you know, you had the phone prop in that Saints game a few weeks back. They fined him for that. So apparently the Salvation Army bowl or bucket or pot or whatever the hell you want to call it is a prop, and that's what they're aiming at.
So he jumped into it last year then.
Elliott jumped into it last year and got fined. I think it was like $15K. Now Elliott put Prescott in it, so I can only imagine that if they're going to say that is like a team celebration type thing, they might get fined, but technically it's a prop.
Whatever. I mean, who cares? That's the thing. It's Thanksgiving. These guys are working on Thanksgiving. Let them have a little bit of fun. I mean, I don't see the harm in it. They jumped into a bowl and then like celebrated. Who cares? Like, really?
Because they're dumb like that. They need the money.
That's it. Like, $15,000 for how much those guys made in that game is nothing.
Plus all the free turkey and shit they got afterwards.
Yeah.
Although I did hear from a lot of the broadcasters that the NFL players don't actually get to celebrate Thanksgiving until Friday, which I found a little weird because I know they do give away the turkey on Fox 5 and CBS when they do the games. So I found that a little weird, but a lot of them say that they celebrate the entire holiday with their families the day after.
Oh, that's cool. That's all right.
It's one of those things. Yes.
All right, on to the Falcons and the Saints. I mean, who saw this coming?
Well, I did. I actually did see this coming, although when we did the point spread, the Saints actually pushed.
Did they?
Yes, because it was a 14-point spread, and the difference in the score was 14 points. So, Vegas people, if you had the 14 when we gave it to you and you put it in at 14, I'm sorry you lost your money.
Yeah.
But this game here, I got to tell you, Atlanta did have their chances. An interception from Matt Ryan at one point. Then Julio Jones pretty much got helicoptered by a defender.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the helicopter, the ball comes flying out.
Dick stomped, man. that was crazy. That shouldn't laugh at that. I mean, these guys are putting their bodies on the line for entertainment. But man, that was pretty funny. I laughed.
I really did this thing. I did think this game was going to be a blowout real early. And then I watched the rest of the game. It was like, okay, you know what? There's 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I could turn it off. Nothing's really going to happen. And pretty much that's the way it was. But
yeah. Drew Brees didn't have a solid game. Like, he threw for 171, and he did get 4 scores, though. But
they also did run the ball a lot.
Yeah, they did run the ball a lot.
They ran the ball a lot in this game.
I mean, his numbers aren't what we've normally seen, but 4 touchdowns is 4 touchdowns. Doesn't matter.
And in 3 of the NFL groups, by the way, they said Drew Brees was an overrated quarterback. So they're all getting an order of extremely sharpened number 2 pencils to just jam in their necks.
Yeah. He's a badass. You can't...
You can't say enough about him. He manages the game. He's got so many weapons. The undrafted players were catching balls. It was like 4 or 5 of those players yesterday that were catching passes. So tell me really how underrated Drew Brees really is.
Yeah.
But they had a run game going yesterday. I mean, the Saints were overall pretty much balanced on every level of the game. And you look at this middle stat right here, top rusher, M. Ryan, 16 yards. 7 of those yards was on a 4th and 7 in the freaking first half. So that whole rushing attack that Atlanta had once they lost, I think it was Freeman, they were done. Just fork them, done.
Definitely.
But the Saints are definitely back number 1 overall in the NFC for division, the conference race.
Have they passed the Rams? Or
They have
beat the Rams?
They have the tiebreaker over the Rams because of the head-to-head matchup.
Yeah.
So pretty much both of them at this point, now they've played their 11 games for the season. They're even on schedule, but the Saints do have the tiebreaker, so they're the number 1 seed.
Okay. All right. So now we go, that takes care of Thanksgiving. Let's talk about the 1 o'clock games coming up on Sunday.
Yes, Derek, you did pick the Cowgirls.
Everybody picked the Cowboys.
Everybody is 3-0 to start the week.
All right, we got Browns Bengals in Cincinnati. They're expecting rain.
Well, at least it's true that they're playing outside and not in a fucking dome where they put the weather.
The way these two teams match up, I think Cleveland's got a little bit of a better defense. They got a heck of a lot better offense. I'm going to go and say that Cleveland wins this game.
All right, so right off the bat, I'll give you the line.
Yeah, give me the line.
And we got the line at Cincinnati giving 3 under over 48. And it's pretty much the same for the line across the board. The under over is changed periodically through the day, but it's right now at 48.
So they expect it to be a somewhat lower scoring game.
So I got to tell you, though, I think it's going to be one of those where the defenses don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
But again, there's not going to be any fucking A.J. Green.
Yeah.
That's Andy Dalton's weapon. And you know what? Last week when they played Baltimore, guaranteedly enough, if they have A.J. Green, they win the game.
Yeah.
I mean, a 3-point difference. You got Andy Dalton with A.J. Green. You're going to tag them all over the field. The game's in Cincinnati. It's rain. Cleveland's running game is a lot better than what we think it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's just right off the bat. I want to go Cleveland in this because technically they're the dog, and they've been the dog the whole year. But I have a feeling, like in my head, like Cincinnati's is going to pull out a miracle at some point. Then again, we all started off the week 3-0, and it's just
I don't see
Cincinnati. Cincinnati's won the last 3 meetings.
They have won the last 3 meetings, but they didn't have Baker Mayfield in those 3 meetings.
All right, so you're going Cleveland.
I'm going
Derek's
Cleveland. Derek's going Cleveland.
Is Trent watching?
Huh? No, he had a serious situation at work, so he can't watch.
All right, I'll have to get him from him later. You know what? I think I'm going to go the Browns as well. Browns. Something about the game with the spread just doesn't feel right.
Yeah,
and that's where I am in my brain. I'm sitting there like, a field goal game could be Cleveland's way, could be Cincinnati's way, but without A.J. Green, I don't see how Andy Dalton really is going to survive very much.
I don't think so. I don't see it either. All right, so we've got 49ers Bucks. What can you tell me about the line on this one?
All right, so the line right off the bat for 49ers and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is spotting the 49ers 3, under over 54, line stayed the same pretty much the entire week. And Vegas has to specifically mention that Jimmy Garoppolo will not be playing in this game. Assholes. He has not played the whole fucking season. He's not going to be playing for the rest of this season. Please stop mentioning the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo is not playing.
Yeah. D-Hay says he'll take the Browns.
All right, so I'll put D-Hay on the list here.
All right, so I mean, Gropp's not playing. I like that Warren, or not Warren. I like that. What's his name? The quarterback, the new kid.
Yeah, Nick Mullins.
Yeah, Mullins. That's it. I like that kid. But I don't know, man.
Okay, so
they've got a better defense than the Buccaneers. I mean, I think their defense is way better. The Buccaneers have been disappointing the hell out of me. So this is, I mean, I think this is a pick 'em kind of. I'm going to go, Derek's going with the Buccaneers. I think I'm going to go with the 49ers.
Okay, so the hidden information that I didn't get the chance to get in, I really wish I had a sound for him. The walking turd burglar is starting the game.
Okay, yeah, definitely go with the 49ers. Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston is starting the game.
Okay. So that makes it a lot easier.
So Derek's going Tampa.
I will go 49ers.
Going 49ers. Jesus. Just I really, really do have hate for Jameis Winston.
You just hate that guy, man.
A guy that's been in the NFL 5 years still hasn't had his Pampers changed and walks around with diaper rash thinking he's God. I'm sorry.
All right, D-Hay, what are you taking?
Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
All right. We'll get his pick in a minute. Let's get the next one because we had that little bit of a delay on the system. So
yeah.
Although D-Hay probably fell off the bed knowing the fact that I just called Jameis Winston a turd burglar.
All right, we got Jacksonville at Buffalo. 3 and 7 teams.
This is normally, if this was last year's Jacksonville Jaguars, we would just make a pick and move on. Unfortunately, that's not the case. This game here is Jackson spotting Buffalo 37 points. 3 points, I'm sorry. And the under-over is 38. So apparently both teams are not expected to score. Although, the key factor to this whole thing, because it happened before their bye week, Matt Barkley is going to be the starting quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, with Josh Allen being probable. Now, Matt Barkley hasn't really amounted to anything than maybe a molehill in his NFL career, and he torched the Jets for 260. So, this is where you kind of...
I don't know where to go with this.
Well, if we look at the NFL numbers, the league rankings, obviously again, now Jacksonville's defense has given up points. Still the fourth ranked defense. Buffalo obviously is abysmal, and they're second overall in the NFL.
Yeah.
So if you can't, D-Hay, you're not going to get banned or fined. Answer the damn question, who the fuck are you picking?
Yeah.
So, basically, this is one of those ones where you probably should just flip a coin and just go with whatever comes, because at this point, Buffalo gave the Pats problems, and Jacksonville pretty much took one in the butt last week from that last second Big Ben score. So, and they choked a 16-point lead. Let's also remind everybody on that.
So you're going Bills?
You know what? I have a feeling that Buffalo will probably be the pick.
That's what I'm feeling too. Derek's got the Jags. D-Hay's got the Jags. Still don't have a pick for the last game, the Bucks versus the 49ers. Need one of those.
Got D-Hay. And Derek.
No, he's got the 49ers.
All right, D-Hay's got the 49ers. And you and me are both taking the Bills.
Yep.
Freaking kick in the pants it would be if the freaking Jacksonville Jaguars won a game for a change. Okay, so in our pre-show talk, the next game up is the Oakland Raiders visiting the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens will not have Joe Flacco at quarterback.
Ew.
Lamar Jackson is starting his second game in a row. This is where the eye-popping numbers come out. Vegas, this number is in double digits across the board. Have the Baltimore Ravens spotting the Oakland Raiders 12 points in a score that's supposed to equal up to 43, under/over. Now, Derek's picking the Ravens in a shutout. I'm not going shutout because I was the only one that had the balls to pick the Raiders last week, which I'm trying to figure out how that fucking happened.
I'm gonna go, man. Flacco's one thing, but they still got a badass defense.
Yeah, but okay, so the breakdown on Lamar Jackson is this. They ran him in a college-based offense last week.
Mm-hmm.
His passing was not accurate, but then again, it's the speed of the NFL game.
Mm-hmm.
You can play as many preseason games as you want. It's not going to get you regular season speed. So, he's mobile. They ran a lot of options last week with him. It threw the Bengals defense off. It's one of those weird things, but he looks like the future quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Ravens on this one.
All right.
I think everybody's picking the Ravens.
Yeah, D.Hay picked the Ravens. Obviously, Relly picked the Ravens. See, I can't, I don't really see this whole point issue. Why 12?
Yeah.
What is the key factor for Baltimore by 12? I mean, I could probably understand it if Joe Flacco was playing, but I don't see it with Lamar Jackson playing. And not for anything, that Oakland game last week was a very competitive game
against two of the shittiest teams in the NFL.
And which Baltimore team is going to show up is the question.
That's true. I mean,
that defense has not been real solid this entire season. They had that great start, and then all of a sudden, toilet. The last 5 or 6 games. So, numbers wise, you're gonna pick the Ravens. I'm gonna go the Ravens too, but I don't feel comfortable with the pick, to be honest.
Okay. All right. Well, there's that. We've all got those in. So we got Seahawks now. Seahawks, Panthers. The Seagulls versus the Cats, or Pussycats. I don't know what the fuck you want to call them, but they're a 500 team versus a 600 team.
All right, so it's Carolina laying 3 because the game is in Carolina. Under over is 47 even. Cam Newton probable? Question mark. I wonder why. Maybe if he didn't dress up like Jim Carrey last week in the post-fucking-game interview, he might not be probable.
Would they fine him for that?
They didn't fine him for it, but he looked like a complete jackass with the big fucking feather coming out of his hat and the long jacket with the baggy pants and the saddle shoes. Another candidate for being smashed in the face with a ball-peen hammer. The only thing I can really say about this game is that Carolina's coming off of a disappointing loss in Detroit on Sunday, where instead of tying a game, they should have kicked the extra. They should have kicked the extra point instead of going for the 2-point conversion. Can Carolina contain Russell Wilson in the run game? Is yet to be seen. This is again one of those games where you just it's a pick'em.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's a pick'em. But only 3 points, and you're looking at 47 under over. Yeah, this would probably, if I was betting money a game, I would stay away from.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Seattle on this one.
Okay.
Wilson's been doing pretty good.
DA is taking the Seahawks. I don't know. I really don't know. Again, like I said, this is one of those games on a sheet. 3 points. Carolina coming off a disappointing loss. They're now three games back in the division race, and I believe tied for 7th in the wild card. So they've pretty much lost a lot of footing in this. Although, out of their remaining schedule of games, they do play the Saints twice. So that will be probably looking at something close enough. I'm going to go Carolina.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Mitro method on this one because they possibly could be wearing the powder blue uniforms on Sunday.
All about the uniforms.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the uniforms. Fuck the players. Fuck the stats. I'm going to go with the uniform.
All right.
D really disappeared, so I don't know. Maybe his wife may have caught him in the head with a frying pan for her birthday.
Man, I bet that she's been dreaming about that one for a while.
Probably.
All right, so the first meeting between these two, the Patriots versus the Jets.
In a game that I will be at.
Oh, yeah, you're going to this game. That's right.
I will be doing some highlight videos on behalf of arch rivals as a kind of an on-field reporter type deal. Although I won't be on the field, I'll be in the stands. But this game here, as I mentioned before, has a lot of question marks. Brady's sick and hurt? Question mark. But then again, when has he never been on the injury report?
Yeah.
And it's never really actually been true. Tom Brady, in his career, is 10-1 after a loss on a bye week. If that really makes any sense to anybody, he's only lost one game coming off of a bye. He's only lost one game coming off of a bye week, where the week before that they lost. The numbers are mind-boggling when it comes to these things. However, the Jets have not been great the last few seasons. This year, I think they're just as worse as they were in years past. And I am not donating a dime, D-Hay.
I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I don't know.
Patriots. I'm going with the Patriots.
Pena is, from what I believe, is a first-time viewer.
No, he's been here before, I think.
Oh, he's been here? Okay. But he's saying clearly the Jets.
Yeah.
Vegas, again, weird numbers. New England 10. They're spotting the Jets 10.
That's so weird.
And 47 under over. Sam Darnold is not playing, so we get lovely Josh McCown as a opposing starting quarterback. The Jets team is just completely fucking annihilated.
Yeah, I say New England takes this pretty easily.
They're going to take it, but it's not going to be like a 10-point game
No.
because the history does show that, well, with the exception of the 41-3 smashing in 2016 and the New Year's Eve game last year, every game is within 7 points normally. So I don't see that 10 points big. Pats, I'm picking the Pats, obviously, but not with 10 points, though.
Yeah.
They clearly will be within the range for that.
All right. So here we got the second matchup between the Giants and the Eagles.
Throw up is what I want to say. Throw up because neither one of these two teams are dependable for this season.
No.
I'm sorry. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just me or being the fact that I'm in the New York market that I get to sit here and deal with this blueberry and grape situation. There were both a bunch of fruits running around on the field anyway. Philly coming off of a disappointing loss to the 10-1 Saints. I wish we could play Smack My Bitch Up, but we can't. And the New York Giants are on a 2-game winning streak.
Woo!
Philly, surprisingly enough, at their shitty record, is giving the Giants 7 points, and the under-over is at 47.
I don't know who to pick.
Like I said, throw up is the word, because you're at one point, if you pick the Giants and Philly wins like they did earlier this year, then you're going to want to throw up. However, if the Giants win because the Philadelphia Eagles are the defending Super Bowl champions, look at testicle, then Odell Beckham is only 5 wins away from them going 8-0 in the second half after their bye week.
Mm-hmm.
So Michael Pena says it's going to be a tie. It's not going to be a tie. To honestly tell you, in a perfect world, I'd want the Giants to lose because we know Philly's not winning the NFC East now. And I see probably one of those dick punch last-minute field goals by Philly. That would be a perfect world for me. I mean, if the game ended 3-0, I'd be even happier, but...
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I think I'm going to have to go with the Giants on this one.
All right, did you pick the Pats?
Yeah.
I apparently didn't write those down. Oh, thanks, D.A. D.A., did you pick the Pats too?
I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna bite the bullet, and I'm gonna go with the New York Giants.
There we go.
And notice how I bow my head when I say that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'll go with the Giants. That's what I got. That's what I got. Okay, so Cardinals.
Does it really make you feel miserable that we both picked the Giants, the team that's
Yeah,
been...
it does make me feel real miserable. Okay, Cardinals versus the Chargers. Now, they did win in preseason.
Yeah, but it's a different... First off, this is the first of the 4 o'clock games, by the way.
Yeah.
And this game was flexed, believe it or not. I don't know why. Well, maybe no, maybe I do know why, because I believe this was probably supposed to be the original Sunday night game, and they decided to spare us all with the misery.
D8 said Pats.
All right, and he's got to give me the Giants pick too.
2 games behind D. Hey, come on now. Keep up
All
with
right.
the class.
So, in my research for this game, this is a very, very, again, high point spread with a very mediocre under-over, which is kind of pathetic. But the under-over for this game is only 44.
Really?
But the Chargers are spotting the Arizona Cardinals 13.
Ooh. Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm picking the Chargers, definitely.
Yeah, but it gives me the question mark. Okay, so you're pretty much spotting the Arizona Cardinals 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
That's 14 points. So the Chargers are only scoring 30?
I don't get it.
It doesn't really make very much sense.
Yeah.
San Diego's coming off of that disappointing loss last week at Denver, where they lost by 1 point.
1 point.
Where if their kicker would have made the extra point, the game would have been tied instead. So I know that kicker's probably under scrutiny. Not as much as Mason Crosby earlier this year, but
No.
that kind of happens. And again, the bigger question mark is Melvin Gordon, whether he's playing or not.
Yeah.
But Joey Bosa will be back for his 2nd game this year. So that would be a very interesting thing.
Yeah, Chargers, all the way.
I'm gonna go that direction too.
Okay, he took Philly.
Oh.
All right, now who do you have in this game that we're about to be done with, D-Hay?
We got to fix this lag problem.
I don't know what's going on.
Bad, holy shit. All right. So while we're waiting for the...
he's going to take the Cardinals on the... Okay.
All right.
We're taking the Cardinals.
You're poisoned, D-Hay. All right.
Yeah. The Dolphin.
This is another game that they flexed. I don't know why.
Because it's a shitty game.
Well, no, it's not. Well, all right. So they did flex this game. Another ridiculous point spread for this game. Miami and Indy. The point spread for this game is Indy laying 11. Now, for some reason, on the Vegas thing here, it went from a minimum of 7 points to 10.5, which we normally will round up to the 11, because you can't score a half a point in the NFL. And I do not know why they made these bullshit fucking half-point things.
Yeah.
Okay? And to top it all off, they're expecting both teams to score 51 points.
What?
A total of 51 points between the Dolphins and the Colts, with Ryan Tannehill probable to come back to start for the Miami Dolphins.
I'm going to go Colts, man. 51 points apiece?
Yep.
Are they? Was the person high?
Again, I'm not jumping off of this Colts bandwagon yet. And the Colts have come back from 1-4 with 4 wins at 4 out of the last 5. And obviously, we're going to know that Andrew Luck is back. The numbers for the Colts have been going up every week.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in a roundabout fashion, yeah, I can't put money against the Colts. This possibly could be an upset. I mean, both teams are at 500, but Vegas, I have no clue what you guys are doing. And NFL needs to fix this shit because it doesn't rain indoors, you dickheads.
Yeah. They play in a dome.
At least they didn't put the little. Oh no, they do have the drips on the helmets. Never mind.
Yep, they sure do.
Stupid asshole.
All right. So you take it. Okay,
I'm going Colts.
D-Hay's going with the Colts.
Is defense absent on game day? No. Not with them.
All right. Steelers versus the Broncos.
This can be a very, very
It
interesting
could be
matchup.
a really interesting game.
Okay, Vegas. Pittsburgh only giving 3.5. Under over 48.
Huh.
So I'm changing the line to 4 and 48.
Okay. Man, I don't know which Pittsburgh team's going to show up though.
This Pittsburgh team always has an issue in Jacksonville. I kind of I expected it. With Jacksonville being in disarray last week, the whole season, that's why we all went with the Steelers last week.
Mm-hmm.
Denver's defense is not Jacksonville. That's one.
Yeah.
Case Keenum is at quarterback for Denver. That's two. Antonio Brown is just fucking tearing the field up.
Yeah.
Big Ben had 3 interceptions last week. Comes back for the game-winning rushing touchdown. By the hair on his sack, he fucking got the ball in. So that was great for them. Pittsburgh's still running it for the division at this point. Obviously, Baltimore is behind them. So they're going to try to get a game up on Baltimore, which would be kind of cool.
I think I'm going to have to go Steelers on this one.
Yeah, especially since they didn't give me any notes for the freaking Steelers game, which is lovely. I'm going to go the Steelers, too. D.Hay's going Steelers. All right. Now we got the Sunday night game.
Sunday night. This needed to be the Sunday night game. This is a good game. Earlier in the season, they tied.
Cheese versus grapes.
Yeah. Man, I don't know about this. What's the spread like on this one?
All right. So if nobody really remembers why this game ended up in a tie, there was a penalty in the fourth quarter on Clay Matthews for roughing the passer, which you now notice that the roughing the passer story has faded away a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, after Clay Matthews kind of hit freaking Kirk Cousins, apparently wrong, Minnesota went down and tied, and nobody scored in overtime. This game is in Minnesota. Minnesota laying 4.5, which will make up to 5, and 48 under over even. Now, Aaron Rodgers was screaming that his team is playing like a bunch of tutu-wearing Nancy boys, and that's why they are where they are at 4-5-1. Kirk Cousins is definitely not worth $84 million.
No.
That apparently showed Monday night against the Bears. Another division matchup. Vikings are now, I believe, a game and a half back of the Chicago Bears in the division. Mm-hmm. Must win for the Vikings. Then again, must win for the Packers to be even considered for the wild card.
Yeah. Man. I think I'm going to have to go to Green Bay. I think they're a better team.
D-Hay says, gotta toss a coin. I hate them both. I'll take the Cheeseheads. Now, I just got a really, really dirty look from Mitra, and she says either I take the Packers or die.
She likes the Vikings.
No, she only likes them. She only likes them because of their pretty purple helmets. But the Green Bay Packers are her second team. So, it's kind of one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't things.
Mm-hmm.
So, and D. says the Cheeseheads won the toss. I don't know.
I'm going Green Bay.
All
right. So here we go. We get to Monday night.
I really want to sleep during this game, but it's a division game. This will pretty much either separate these two teams or have these teams within a game of each other.
Yeah.
Titans are coming off of a loss last week, where the week before they smoked the Pats, but then they got smoked themselves. The Texans are on a 7-game winning streak.
And they just lost their owner.
And their owner, so they're going to be playing for their owner.
Mm-hmm.
Houston is spotting the Texans 7, and the score, they only expect the total score to be 41 points, which is a little weird when you're spotting a team a touchdown. But I feel like the play of this game is whether Marcus Mariota is going to start, because it has a big question mark right by his name.
Man, I don't know. I think Mariota or not, I think Houston's got this game.
By the way, D. is saying that he supports Mitro's choice so she doesn't fuck me up. At least I have some companionship on that. I'm going to go the Texans as well.
Michael Pena goes with the Texans. D-Hay will get his answer to us in about 3 hours.
3 hours, 31 minutes, and 8 seconds. Which will be
taking his precious time on these difficult picks.
It'll be the same time that Derek and Trin give me those at the same time. So
pretty much.
Oh, and now she's yucking it up with D hanging in the chat.
Of course she is. Of course she is. What? Huh? Oh. Hold on. I gotta go. We're gonna have to end this quick because there's 20 seconds left and KU's got the ball and it's tied.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, that is the show.
Yeah. So, thanks everybody for tuning in. Patreon Pipe Bomb will be on tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern Standard, and then we'll have TDR on Sunday and back to Arch Rivals on Tuesday.
Sounds good, guys. We'll see you later.
Stay up! Oh my God! 30! No! 10! Touchdown!
Well, I was not expecting to get an arch rival today, but here we are.
Come on, man!